Celebrities react negatively to unprofessional interviews. Hello and welcome back to our channel. In this video, we're going to talk about celebrities reacting negatively to unprofessional interviews. So let's get started. Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Let's begin, starting off with Jennifer Aniston and David Letterman. The incident happened when the Friends star Jennifer Aniston was on The Late Show to do an interview with David Letterman. In the interview, David, the host, did something which was way too awkward and unprofessional. He said, "Forgive me if this is rude, I just want to try one thing," and then went near Aniston, placed his hand on her shoulder, and attempted to put a strand of her hair in his mouth. Aniston was so shocked by his behavior that she screamed, and later she pointed out that the audience was very uncomfortable, to which David Letterman replied that they could take it out in editing. However, they did not remove it, and that was something that I'll never forget, Aniston said. Next up, Taylor Swift. It was in the year of 2015 when Taylor Swift was asked this ridiculous question. A red carpet interviewer asked Taylor Swift, "Because I was telling you ahead of time you're gonna walk home with more than just a trophy tonight. I think lots of men." For a moment, Taylor looked at the interviewer with an unusual look and then responded saying, "I'm not going to walk home with any men tonight." She then added, "I'm going to hang out with my friends and then I go home to the cats." Moving on, Oprah and Olsen twins. The interview with Oprah was no doubt unprofessional, and it was rude on Oprah's part to ask such ridiculous questions to Olsen sisters. She said, "I know there's been a rumor that has recently surfaced that's really upsetting you. You know, that one about eating?" Mary-Kate and Ashley both were clearly stupefied by her words. Mary-Kate was almost on the verge of breaking down, but Ashley handled the situation and said, "Yeah, you know, people are going to write what they're going to write. We try not to read the good or the bad because it just kind of comes with the territory. Either you're too fat or you're too skinny." Oprah then interrupted in between, asking the most inappropriate question that could ever be asked to any teenage girl. "What size are you, by the way? Like, seriously?" Moving on, Wendy Williams and Laverne Cox. Wendy Williams has faced backlash a lot many times because of her unpleasant behavior on screen. During an interview with the Netflix star Laverne Cox, she asked her, "You've got breast implants?" She also described the appearance of Laverne's breasts as tasteful, but Laverne didn't respond to the question directly and said, "I've chosen not to talk about any of this stuff I've gotten done because I think so often when trans people experiences are talked about, we far too often talk about surgery and transition, so I don't talk about that, but I'm very happy with the situation." Although the interview was full of unprofessional questions by Wendy Williams, Cox handled it all with indirect replies. Scarlett Johansson. While promoting her 2012 film, she was in an interview with co-star Jeremy Renner, where she was asked about what she wears under her Black Widow costume. Johansson clapped back at him saying, "You're like the fifth person that asked me that. What is going on?" Now, since when did people start asking each other in interviews about their underwear? Seriously, how could you even ask this to Scarlett Johansson? Moving on, we have Quentin Tarantino. Tarantino was interviewed by Channel 4 News for his movie Django Unchained, where he admitted that he enjoyed making violent movies. He also said it's a movie, it's a fantasy, it's not real life. When he was asked how he could be sure that there was no link between enjoying screen violence and enjoying real violence, the director did not respond directly. Instead, he said, "I'm not answering your question. I'm not your slave and you're not my master. It's none of your damn business what I think about that." At one point of the interview, he even said, "I'm shutting your butt down." Robert Downey Jr. walks out of the interview. While promoting his Marvel movie Avengers: Age of Ultron, Robert Downey Jr. faced an unpleasant interview in which he was asked about his controversial past. The interviewer, Guru Murthy, said, "The reason I'm asking you about your past is you've talked in other interviews about your relationship with your father and the role in all of that of the dark periods you went through, taking drugs and drinking and all of that. So I just wondered whether you think you're free of all that or whether that's something." To this, the actor was very much pissed off and asked, "What are we doing? Are we promoting a movie?" After saying so, he just walked out of the interview. Later, Downey said that he didn't have any regrets about walking out of the interview. And thank you, folks. That's all for today. I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so that you never miss any amazing videos from us.